when they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Good evening, and if you're just tuning in, you are listening live to UFO, Paranormal, and United Public Radio Network, and this is the thing at the foot of the bed. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just getting TikTok started on here, and of course, it never likes to play nice. I never have enough time to do all this. I have to do it after we go live, so it'll take me 2 seconds here, and then we will continue. Thanks for your patience. Yep, we're doing it right now. And good, we're live now there. Awesome. Anyways, like I said, it's the thing at the foot of the bed. You're listening live. I think I said this, but if I didn't, I'll repeat it. 105.3 FM out of Mississippi and 107.7 FM out of the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana, to where we are actually broadcasting out of. I am one of your hosts, Lorilei Potvin, my amazing good friend, excellent medium, and all the wonderful things we both do together. David Hanzel is next to me. I will do most of the housekeeping, and then he takes over the last little part. We see you all in the chat. We're going to say hi as soon as we get all the housekeeping out of the way. Like I said, my name's Lorilei Potvin. I am a Canadian psychic medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher, and mentor. I'm also a registered nurse. I'm an animal communicator. I am well versed in near-death experiences, having had one as a toddler myself and studied them professionally and personally for over 40 years, and extremely well versed in the paranormal. I always say I didn't go looking for it found me, and we have shared our story or part of it on the Travel Channel's Paranormal Survivor Season 4, Episode 9. I am also the host of my own show here on UPRN on Monday nights called The Angel Rock from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll remind you guys again at the end of the show, but I'm having on one of my, you guys all love her, she comes on at least 3-4 times a year, Varla Ventura. We're going to be talking all about Christmas. This is our Christmas show tonight on the thing at the foot of the bed. And yes, we will be here next Thursday for anybody that's wondering. And obviously, yeah, I'll be here Monday. I had a few people ask on Monday already, and I said, yep, I'll be here Monday. What else do I want to tell you guys? If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends and family about this. It's not just UFO-y and paranormal things on this network. We have all kinds of things. We stream multiple shows daily, 7 days a week. And when we're not streaming live, the archive server kicks in to the last 25 plus years. I love it, David. Oh, I forgot to turn on. I got to turn on my gnome light. I have a little gnome light we'll turn on. I don't know if it'll show up or not. We'll see. No, my big head's going to block it. Anyways, there really is something for everyone. We do stream 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So please tell everybody about it. I think we're almost up to 40 hosts. I keep saying that, but I believe we are on the network, like live hosts. So like I say, there really is something for everyone here. Also, if you want to watch us on TV, you can. I tell you, every time I go live, people message me. Hang on here.
I messaged. I sent.
You're okay to message me because you and I need to communicate.
Oh yeah,
we have been communicating.
I've messaged you a plasmoid video.
Oh, cool. Good. Well, we got videos to watch tonight. We do. What was I saying now? Oh, if you want to watch us on TV, you can. The network has a TV channel. It's on Roku. You're going to go to the channel store, type in UFO space P as in paranormal. There's a drop-down list. I believe we're about the third or fourth one down, and you're looking for UFO, Paranormal, and United Public Radio. And that's how you can watch us. Now, this network actually does broadcast to every country in the world. But 80% of our audience is audio only. So if you can't see us, you can't join the conversation, I always say. So we'd love to have you join us. We have a wonderful group here live that we're going to say hi to. I see people just filing in now. And we always say that once we get the introduction out of the way to make everybody feel welcome and know that we love having you here. And we'd love for you to join the conversation. So how you can do that. Now, usually it's always Facebook, but sorry, Facebook, I'm going to give you a little diss. You haven't been playing nice. So where we're broadcasting tonight, and these are any of these places you can choose to, like I say, as long as you see us, you can join the conversation. And if you know, this show, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed and the Angel Rock, are extremely audience participative. So the more, the merrier. So I'm streaming to my Facebook profile under Lorilei Potvin. It is public, so you don't have to be a friend to join the conversation. I'm streaming on my LinkedIn profile under Lorilei Potvin. It may be under the Angel Rock. I've never really checked, but that's where we're streaming. We're streaming on the network's main YouTube channel, which is UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio. Just so you guys know, we do have a secondary channel, UFO Gods and Extraterrestrials, as a backup. We're not on that one tonight, though, just the main one. Then we're on my YouTube, which is The Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. We are on the network's Twitch channel, which is UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network. We are on Instagram under The Angel Rock. So just so you all know, on Instagram, sometimes it goes for 2 hours, sometimes it doesn't. So you may want to head over to one of the other channels, because that way you won't all in the middle after an hour and it cuts off and you're like, hey, what happened? But the comments also are not integrated here in the main chat. So I'm going to have to bounce back and forth between there and TikTok, because we are streaming to my TikTok on the Angel Rock. And I think it's also under Lorilei Potvin. I will pop back and forth. Also want to give out, I want to see if she's here. She's not here. She'll pop in. I know she will. So give me a minute. I'm checking to see if she's here. When she's here, I'll give her a shout out. She might be over on TikTok, actually. I should check. Hang on. Michelle Wilfong is on TikTok. I thought so. I want to give her a shout out. She pops back and forth between TikTok and the main chat here. But the reason I'm shouting her out, she's my mod over there. She's amazing, does a fantastic job. Check her out on TikTok, you guys. She's got a haunted apartment, posts incredible videos over there, and I appreciate everything she does. Where are we here? We are also streaming to, it takes so much longer without saying all the Facebooks, right, Dave? Sorry about that. And everybody else. We're on Mystique 1508 on Rumble. Yes, that's my channel. That's an old username of mine. It is not a stripper name, I promise. It comes from X-Men. I remind people, because I used to use that name a lot, and people would say, where the heck did you get that name? We are streaming, let's see, to David's channel, which is Medium David Hanzel, I believe, right, Dave? Or is it Medium?
That's correct. Medium.
And then we are streaming to the Spirit Experience on David's YouTube channel. Let me see, did I get everything? I think I did finally, Dave. So take it away.
Which, by the way, you guys, do me a favor. Anybody who's listening right now, follow me on YouTube, because we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen on TikTok, nor to the point I don't care. But here anyway, in the States, if you want to see me, you'd have to go to my YouTube channel instead of TikTok. But for now, TikTok is still there. But hey, you guys, my name is David Hanzel. I am a spiritual medium. I am a channel. I am an animal communicator. I am a teacher of sorts, I guess. I hate to say teacher, but yeah, I do. I show people how to do stuff. If you are watching right now, know that we also have a group called The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. I don't know what happened, but I don't know why we didn't do this before or what happened, but I think I accidentally invited like everybody and their mom, and so did Lorilei. So we have over.
And I just did it after I saw you do it too. I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, I never thought about it. So now that we're like, we have like plenty of people in that group. So after the first, or possibly even right after Christmas, Lorilei and I. So this is going to prompt you guys who are not in that group yet to go in that group, because Lorilei and I are going to go live in there, and we're going to do some psychic readings, some card pulls, talk about all kinds of crazy stuff that we don't talk about here. And we'll have a lot of fun while we're there. And we'll do that, as much as we can. I also have another group. That is so weird that did that just get darker in here?
I don't know. I'm over on TikTok as you're doing that. Let me check. Just give me one.
Okay, that is so weird. My lights keep going weird. That's crazy. But I told Lorilei about this. I've had a crazy week and it just keeps getting crazier and I love it. So yeah, join that group. It's the thing at the foot of the bed with Lorilei Potvin and David Hanzel. It's on Facebook. And also I have another group called the Spirit Experience on Facebook as well, where you can be with spiritual people, learn about spiritual things. I'll be going live in there a lot more. And that is about it.
So Julie Jean Bassett says 265 people in the group, and Howie just said yes. It just got darker, Dave.
Yeah, it's this light, or it could just be my computer not regulating the light very well.
Should we say hi to everybody?
Yeah, let's say hi to everybody, and then
I'm going to start on TikTok. So we got Cindy Mitch over on TikTok. I see the BN show is in the house. Michelle Wilfong, like I said, is over there. There's people popping in and out. I see B3th joined, it looks like. So feel free to say hello and we will say hi back over here on TikTok. Instagram, I started last, so it's a little slow right now, but we'll keep checking. Now let's go over to our main chat. I got to go all the way up to the top. So we got Leslie 1266 says hello. Julie Jean Bassett, hi, Lorilei, David, and everyone. We got to give Julie Jean Bassett a shout out, you guys. You know what? I am putting all this positive energy out there for her. I would love for her to be doing this full time. She is an incredible animal communicator. She has helped me with my animals. I have taken her animal communication course and she's amazing. And I haven't forgotten, Julie, after the 25th, it's crazy right now. I'm not even taking any clients because, need every minute. Usually Christmas Eve, I'm going to bed at like 6:30 in the morning. By the time I wrap everything, bake and decorate. I'm hoping I feel better, knock on wood, today finally. So I'm hoping I can get it all done so I can go to bed at a decent hour on Christmas Eve. But over the Christmas holidays as well, I already talked to Dave. I was talking to him on the phone last night. We're going to try and do some lives, and Julie and I are going to try and do some lives together too. She also is an incredible shamanic practitioner. I've had a session with her that is life-changing, and either over Christmas or into the new year, I hope to have another session with her. We're going to trade our gifts with one another. Us practitioners do that. And check her out. She's at juliejeanbassett.com. She's amazing. We've got Kimmy Bretz Weaver. Hello, friends. Heidi Gall. Got Kelly. I don't know if that's there's a Kelly at my local Michael's. For those of you across the pond, it's a major craft place here in North America. And I got chatting with her and told her, she says she's watched some of the shows before. She said her name's Kelly, but I told her, make sure you shout me out if you're the one from Michael's. But there's a Kelly here. So hi, Kelly. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to one another. Jennifer M. Hello, footies. It's nice to see everyone. Jackie Lane says, hey, everyone. Ed Odell, or Howie Odell, tips his top hat. Good evening, you beautiful people. We got to give Howie a shout out. He is a huge supporter of UPRN and all our shows and hosts. He has his own network, which is the Rift Nation Network. And he has his own show, which is the Orion Effect that David and I have been on a few times with his amazing co-host and good friend of mine, Rhonda Harris. So check that out, 7 p.m. Sunday nights. Also, I want to give Carrie Lynn Shellhorn a shout out. She did 12 Days of Giving, which she does every year at the beginning of December. And she gave away a gift spot. We did it last year with her, Dave, where somebody won a spot to be on her show. This year it is Rhonda Harris, and she is having the girls, I know it's Leanne and Corinne, and I believe their cousin Kelly. They have a TV show. I always get the wrong name of it. It's not Dark History, but it's something like that. And it's a really cool show. They get into mines and all kinds of things, doing paranormal investigation. And I know Corinne, all of them are gifted, but Corinne is very, very gifted as a medium. So they're going to be on there tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you guys. So check it out. I'm going to be there because I want to see it. I can't wait. I met Corinne and Leanne, their sisters, and they are absolutely lovely. They came up for our paranormal conference in October. Let's see, we got Heidi. I said hi to. Connie Martin says hi, Lorilei and David. Let's see, we've got Jonathan. Hi, all. I don't recognize your name, but we're very glad to have you here. Welcome. I don't know if it's your first time. Julie Jean Bassett knew that mystique comes from X-Men, she just said. And then Jennifer M says, I love your vibe, David. I feel like I've been saying I don't care a lot anymore. Whatever it is, just not going to ruffle my feathers. Do you know what one of my friends bought me for my birthday when I was single? They bought me a t-shirt. I didn't even realize I said this. And it was a happy face that said, whatever. This is so you, Laura. This is so you. I said, I didn't realize you could say that all the time.
I have one of those shirts that says breaking news. Nobody cares.
We got Heavy Metal Mama says, hi, David. And Julie let us know. Thank you, Julie. 265 people in the group. We got Nicole Thomas Ryan in the house. Let's see who else. I don't want to miss anybody. Let's keep going. Jennifer M. I just saw something from Jennifer M. Did I pass it? Let me see. I think I did. Yes, I passed all kinds of people here. Hang on. Heavy Metal Mama, welcome. Where is this going on me? Oh, she said, hi, David. So she must know you. Let's see. Howie said it's much lighter than what it was. Yes. And it just lightened up.
Oh, yeah, my room. I think I think it's a not a spooky thing as much as it's a computer lights figuring out where in the hell to go with themselves thing.
Oh, Jennifer M says, I'm excited to interact with Lorilei in the Facebook readings. Well, actually, I don't know if you follow David on TikTok or not, but David and I do go live. David goes live all the time, but when I have time, I do join him and do readings with him. And Miss Faye, I was thinking about you because your name didn't come up. You might have already been, I don't know if you're in the group or not, but I was sending out invites because David had the brilliant idea, like he was saying, to invite people. And I went, oh my gosh, why did I not think of that?
Yeah, I totally, isn't that weird? I just one day was sitting there. I'm like, I was in our group trying to do some stuff and I wrote a new thing in there and I'm very proud of it. So go read it. But
it was awesome.
There was I was in the group and it just said, would you like to invite somebody? What happened was I was going to invite this one person that I knew that wanted to be in the group. I couldn't figure out how to put them to the group. So I just went to invite them. And then I don't know what I did, but I must have hit mass invite. And
you must have, because I didn't mass invite. I have way too many people on Facebook, and I'm ashamed to say I don't know all of them personally.
I don't know all the people I got. I'm almost to the capacity. But the thing is, though, it was really sweet. So listen, everybody. For the new people who came up, they took it upon themselves and they posted a picture of themselves and they introduced themselves, and we love that. That is the coolest thing. So you guys, feel free to do stuff like that.
And somebody suggested chat things for our group on Messenger. Yeah. And you know what? I approved them immediately. One was about NDEs, and I think one is about your gifts. So people are chatting about that in Messenger. So you guys can access that if you're part of the group. Feel free. People are talking about their experiences, and I thought it was a great idea because it's your group, you guys.
Real quickly, I just want to put out there because you said somebody didn't know about me on TikTok. If you are in our listening audience, if you are here, I want you to know, if you go look me up on TikTok, which is at Medium David Hanzel, make sure there's over 96K followers.
He's got a bunch of
under that. That's a troll. That's somebody. They steal my material all the time. I have like 20, 30.
And he's hard to find because I know who he is, and they even take his name and everything. So that's why you got to pick how many followers.
And then these idiots, and they do it on Facebook too, you guys. And this is what they do. They'll put, hi, love. It looks to me, what's your do they call you hi, love, or
don't give anybody? That should be number one. Anybody from anybody. If somebody says hi, dear, or hi, love, first of all, and I am not a racist, but they probably do not speak English, because anybody you know that speaks English as a native language, okay, usually, I'm not saying everybody, they do not address you that way. Okay.
I don't say dear one, and either when I do channeled angel messages and stuff, they don't say dear one either. They're just like, they just start talking. So that's a fake thing. And I don't ask for your birthday, your astrological sign. I just don't. And I will never have an urgent message for you ever. You'll find me. Yeah,
I don't even do readings on this show. I had Carrie Lynn on Monday night, and somebody had written, and I thought maybe they were asking for a message. They commented afterwards that they weren't, but I made it clear because Carrie Lynn doesn't do readings on her show. I did them beginning of December, I think, because I had a guest cancel and everybody wanted to show. So we did towards the end of it, but I don't do it as on the regular. So Rhonda Harris, were your ears burning? She goes, hey, it's my favorite people. Hello, all. We were talking about you. I'm going to be watching you tomorrow night, 6:00, date with Carrie Lynn. Kimmy Bratzweaver says, so glad I'm able to catch you both tonight. We're glad you're here too. Oh, Faith says that Julie helped her own daughter too. So that's wonderful to hear. And
because you might think people like psychics and all this like we're hokey, but the ones of us who are actually doing it, really what we do set out is to help you in some way, shape, or form. So it's really nice to hear that. And I know that Julie Jean really appreciates that too.
Julie is amazing. She is amazing. Like she's not just helped me with one pet, and like I said, she's an amazing teacher. I took her course. She's run it again at least once more time since I took it, maybe even more. She might have something coming up in the new year. Dave and I'll tell you more towards when we get into the show. But both, I think you were working on some courses, Dave? I know I am.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do courses. I'm not going to teach people mediumship. A lot of people ask me that. And here's the reason why I'm not going to. You can always ask me a question. I am more than happy to throw in my expertise. Every medium does everything so differently, and my style is so freaking weird. I cannot tell you how I do.
If you meet one medium, you've met one medium. It's kind of the same way, though, even with people with autism. They say you met one person with autism, you've only met one person.
One person with autism. Yeah, it's almost about the exact same thing. Yeah, and I can't. My mediumship is really weird. I can't tell you how I do it. People ask me. I mean, I know how I do it, but I can tell you this: go out and have a near-death experience, and then have a lot of really weird life experiences, and that will help you.
Let's get through this list, Dave. We got Howie again saying thank you so much for the shout out. I truly appreciate that, and I appreciate you too as well. That's so kind of you, Howie. Thank you, Heidi Gall. And I felt so bad, when your mind just goes blank. So the ladies that are coming on tomorrow with Carrie Lynn, the show is called Beyond the Haunting. So it's Leanne, Corinne, and Kelly. Their docuseries Haunted Gold Rush is amazing. They had a TV series with that as well. Julie says she doesn't do TikTok. That's okay. And Jennifer M says, oh, I didn't know. I will have to check that out. We usually try to make an announcement, Jennifer. We don't always, but if it's kind of spur of the moment, but I usually try to post it. And I know Dave tries to post it too. Heidi says, agree. I've tagged David in my shares, and it will post with his name and then change. Interesting. That's weird. A lot of scammers and imposters out there. Rhonda says, yay, I'm excited for tomorrow night. And Julie said, thank you to both of us for, I guess, talking about her guest. She said, I will probably be teaching the beginner's animal communication workshop again late January or February. Well, since we're talking courses quickly, I'm hoping around March, because I figured right in after Christmas, money's tight. I'm going to be starting my course. I'm not calling it beginner's spirituality. Anybody can take it. And we're just going to talk about all the aspects of connecting in with your gifts. And if you don't think you have gifts, believe me, you do. Somewhere, somehow, some way, I believe we all do.
There is something I am planning on doing. Speaking of courses real quick. Sorry, you guys. We're going to talk about spooky stuff, but this is going to be of interest to a lot of you guys. I'm going to start doing my YouTube channel a lot more, the Spirit Experience. I am coming out, and I study the
that's what I thought you were doing. You were talking about this. I know what you're
doing. I study the Kabbalion, and I study the universal laws, and I'm pretty well versed in them, and I use them all the time. And I was waiting for the day, making sure how I used them were correct and they were working for me and everything. So I'll be talking and making a lot of videos about that. Different ways of doing the law of attraction.
That's what I thought you were going to be doing.
Yeah, and I'm going to be doing that. That stuff I'll be doing. Yeah, that'll be free. Just go watch my videos.
Okay, so we've got EMRTEKINC, Emertikink. I hope I said that right on Instagram. Hello, let's pop in with, we got Denis Casey, it looks like in French. Okay. And Michelle Wilfong saying, that's going to be so awesome. And a whole bunch of comments over there. Also, Kimmy says, David has helped me get through some of the toughest times in my life. So grateful for him. That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Kimmy.
And Julie says, I'm also planning a couple more courses. I'll probably sign up for them. I will. You know what? I still take courses. I
love learning. I love learning. Just because you know everything, because like I've never taken a formal animal communication course, so you don't know the story. My animal communication came to me after my NDE, and it was through communicating with a certain angel that did that. So I still want to take some courses too, because I like to see the mechanics of how everybody uses them.
Julie says she still takes them. Heidi said, thank you, David. And Heidi said, I will forever seek knowledge. Yes, I try to learn something new every day. I do. The other thing I will say, I was getting in my own way. For as long as I've been doing this, I could not understand. My children have communicated with animals since they could talk, and I can communicate with spirit. Didn't think I could communicate with animals, but I know why. And this is something I'm going to give as advice. This is no diss on anybody in any way, shape, or form, because I learn the most from other people with what they use, what they do. They share it with me. And if it resonates, I might give it a try. And I think that that's the best way we can. Even as a nurse, 4 years of university, yes, it was important to learn how the body worked. I understand it very well. I'm grateful for that. Psychology courses and things like that. But I will tell you, any job, I think the most experience you learn is on the job. And I think it's the same thing in this field, but with animal communication, I had it stuck in my head that animals do not communicate the way regular spirit does, and they only send you pictures. I have since learned for myself, rather than expecting that would be the only way, to be open to what I receive, the way we are all part of each other, right? So animals too. And for me, and everybody's gifts work differently. Like David just said to you about mediumship, it all works differently. And I find they will use all of my senses when I communicate with them. Once I made that connection and let go of the first belief that I couldn't communicate with them, and why not? So that I got in my own way, plus expecting that they were going to send me pictures. And that's not how it works for me. So it taught me a very good lesson to not have a preconceived notion, just to be open to the experience as well as the suggestions of how to prepare to be able to be open for it.
I would like to add to that, and you're absolutely correct. And here's a little story. A long time ago, when I first started doing a lot more mediumship, it was all clairaudient. I always said to myself, everybody's like, oh, Dave's clairaudient. He hears them. One day, I was getting ready to do a reading and I was hearing nothing. And I thought, what happened? I've got nothing. But then I started seeing pictures and stuff. That was the day they said, you use everything. You don't just use one, use them all. And that's what I do. And this is what she said about animals is true too. I at first thought they only sent you pictures. And then I was privy to, no, anything you're talking to on that side or not in the physical, they communicate with you through vibration, and it's how we interpret the vibration. So Lorilei could get the same vibration that I get from the same animal, but she might hear the vibration and translate it to words, where I might see the vibration and translate it to pictures.
Well, I'm going to give you a perfect example of Julie Jean Bassett's comment. She said, Doc is a great teacher, isn't he, Lorilei? And he is. So we all brought in pictures. What a great group of people were in that class too. And there was a dog that came up, and it was my turn. And I knew about Julie's stepmom's service dog, Doc. Okay, I couldn't remember his name, didn't know what he looked like, so I didn't know I was connecting with Doc. Doc has since gone to the other side, and he still, as I understand it, works with Julie quite closely. But what he did for me was he was on medication. I got a really odd taste. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps, so he must be around Julie. And then I got I got gave me pain in one of my arms because he had some health issues. So what else did he used all of my senses. I sounded like I had been communicating for years with animals with everything he gave me. And then afterwards I found out it was Doc. And I knew this stuff about Doc, but I had no idea the dog I was reading from the picture was Doc. So he is an amazing teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, we never really know. It's just all kinds comes in there when it does. I know it's really funny too. I get because they use spirit animals, everything. They use what you have learned here so far. So it's like
I think spirit does that though. Hi, Gary Fox. Welcome on TikTok.
I've had dogs. I've had animals do that for me too. Use different things. I've had animals show me other animals to like tell me that's kind of like what they look like. Like a mutt breed will show me different animals, and I'm like, you had this dog as like it was like half collie, half lab or something. They're like, yeah, that's him, but that's about it. I wish they could tell me those things, because the one thing with me and animals, I literally I've had animals. Literally, the best one that I had, it was not long ago, about a month ago. I was sitting here and I was just doing a regular reading, and I have a tuxedo cat that lives in my neighborhood, and he likes to show up at my house at opportune times. I mean, like perfect times every time. But I was doing this for this lady, and he walked past my window. I was watching him as I'm reading. I was talking to her mom on the other side, and I was watching this cat walk by, and then mom stopped talking. I could not take my eyes off the cat, and I said, your mom's with a tuxedo cat on the other side that passed. She goes, that's her cat. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, that was so weird. Yeah. So you guys, it all comes in all different really
That's
cool
how spirit communicates with all of us, whether we believe in it or not. And you know what? I was having this conversation with Dave last night. Even our body speaks to us. If you can quiet your mind and breathe and ask yourself if you have a pain or you have something going on, you can ask your body, what are you trying to tell me? You can also look up on the internet, what is the spiritual significance of whatever you're going through physically. I do want to go just a few comments here. Julie Jean Bassett said Doc is now one of her guides, and we got to give her a shout out because Jennifer M said Julie Jean Bassett's animal course is amazing. Heidi Gall said she took an animal communication course at Boulder Psychic Institute a few years ago and loved it. Oh, you're so lucky to have a place like that. Yeah. Kassoon is here. Hello, Kassoon. Now it's middle of the night over there in Sri Lanka, so thank you for getting up to join us.
Kassoon, I have a question for you, my friend, since you're here. Are you guys seeing orbs or plasmoids in your neck of the woods? I'm not able to ask anybody from over there. I've been trying to ask.
I have a bunch of videos from all over.
Oh, good, because I know people from all over the world, and I've been asking them, are you guys seeing this crazy stuff too? I just sent you a couple more plasmoids videos, and I sent you last one I sent you though explains plasmoids that were saw 7 years ago.
Okay, well, it's not new.
No, it's not new. Yeah,
we have to remember though that there, with deepfakes and AI, and then we can really get crazy. Because Joe Montaldo, who owns a network, we got to give him a shout out because he provides this space for us in New Orleans for this network. He calls me conspiracy princess. He says there's only one woman he knows more than me that believes in conspiracy. He calls her the queen. And I always clap back at him and tell him that it's not conspiracy, it's truth seeking.
Yeah, there's a difference between conspiracy and truth seeking. Conspiracy means
there's holograms out there. That's where I was going to go to. There are holograms.
There are, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Heidi says, we'll wait for Kassoon to type. I think he's typing. We'll see what he answers. Heidi says, since I was a kid, my empathy runs so deep for animals. Me too. Dave too. Most of us, if you're drawn to animals, but I will tell you something funny that I don't remember since I was a little kid. Apparently, I was absolutely terrified of animals when I was a toddler. And believe it or not, you guys, I was shy till I was 16. I have not stopped talking since. But anyways,
I'm guilty.
Another one. Guilty. Yeah. You too, you were shy too?
Short story. I was super shy as a very young person. I went to kindergarten and they told me that's where everything changed. In kindergarten, we were going to build and I remember it's in my book that I'm writing.
Mhm.
And in kindergarten, I was very talkative when I first got there. I loved talking to people. And I was like,
I would hide.
my grandma used to go, he's got the gift of gab. And anyway, so we were going to build a fire truck out of these bricks. I was so excited to do that. And then we had announcements. And during the announcements, I was talking, and I still remember his name to this day. His name was Jerome. And Jerome raised his hand, and they said, yes, Jerome. And they said, David was talking during the announcements. And this is, you got to look at my age. This is back when teachers were mean. They wouldn't let me play after that. I had to go sleep on my mat. I had to lay on my mat while they did that. My mom said, you must have got it in your head that it was terrible ever to talk again, because she said that's the day you shut up and you didn't start. You stopped talking until you were about same age, about 16, 17 years old.
Well, what happened with me was I was terrified of everything. Like, I would hide in my closet if people came over. Like, I never spoke, ever, ever, ever. And then I had the most gorgeous looking boyfriend, for those of you that are old enough to remember, Duran. They're still around.
Mm-hmm.
Simon LeBon. Well, my boyfriend looked similar to him, but was like 6'4", gorgeous. And he used to take me to all these parties and stuff with him. And I'd be sitting in the corner, and finally, it probably was spirit. I was sitting in the corner one day, and all of a sudden it was like I heard an inner voice say, why are you sitting in the corner? And I never shut up since. But with the animals, I was so terrified, like honestly, like terror, my parents said. So they got a dog, and I had Trixie. And I can tell you, I haven't been in love with animals ever since. Oh, Karen Rose says she loved Duran. We got Aaron G here on LinkedIn. Hi, Aaron G. Welcome. Oh, you guys love Duran too? Oh my gosh, you've seen them in concert. That's on my bucket list with Red Hot Fighters.
The reflex.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so Kassoon answered us. Heidi says it's so funny. Kassoon says, I saw a glowing crystalline thing hovering closer to the ground one time. A couple of my friends saw similar stuff too. Now, is that a while ago or kind of fitting
now?
World?
Yeah, because I'm doing it now because, like, if anybody is not in the U.S., there's thousands of them all over New York, New Jersey, mainly over New Jersey. Now they're in Pennsylvania.
They're everywhere. I have so many videos.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
But
I can't tell you. Everybody keeps asking me. The number one thing is asked to me nowadays is, what are the drones and what are the orbs? And I'll be totally honest with you. I have no clue what the orbs are, but me and Lorilei were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
All they had told me was, it's pretty much in this way. It's all good. There's nothing to be afraid of. Let this happen. It doesn't concern you. It's not going to hurt you. It's nothing. They also had said to me that between the plasmoids and the drones and like these other orbs that we're seeing, there is a mixture of things from other worlds here, from what I know.
Have some things
not to be concerned.
I have some things to add to that. So we got Richard Minnick here. He says, hey, Stone Hobbit. So if you're out there and just lurking, hello, Stone Hobbit. Oh my gosh, Heidi Gall, you have just made me so envious. She says, first row for Duran. She slept outside at the mall to get tickets. She was 14. First concert I went to, I think I was almost 14. I went on a French exchange for a month. In Quebec, and then they came here, and my parents were very, very strict, or I never would have been allowed to go, but I did go, and AC/DC was playing in my little city, in Thunder Bay in northwestern Ontario. We're almost in the middle of Canada, not quite, and the fact that they were here, I cannot believe they came here. They never came back, but that was my first concert. Julie is saying also in California. They are everywhere. Heidi added Colorado. Kassoon Kassoon said not now. It's a while ago. We rarely see ET or weird stuff here in Sri Lanka.
I agree with what Richard is saying. Richard says the orbs can be many things, but it's not human-made tech. I agree with that. It's not. There's something else to it.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you guys in just a sec here. I was going to add that Nicole Thomas Ryan said, I got to see Foreigner, Loverboy, and Joan Jett. I have seen Loverboy numerous times. I've seen Joan Jett. I think I have seen Foreigner. I have seen most bigger name bands going to Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin. Even got to see Kiss. Of course, none of their stuff was working when we were there. Got to see Motley Crue. Got to see every band you could possibly think of was there. Oh God, we could sit and talk about concerts all night long. Let's see if anybody else is seeing, TikTok, anybody over there is seeing orbs or drones or anything strange in your neck of the woods in the month of December right now, because we're kind of taking a poll.
No, we're kind of looking at seeing what's coming up now. I've looked out my windows and I haven't saw anything. Well, nothing I can prove. I've saw stuff.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I've saw stuff, but I'm not sure what it was. And usually most psychics or mediums will tell you when they see stuff, there's usually a feeling behind it. We always tell people, I mean, Lorilei and I always tell people when people ask, was that my loved ones who visited me? What did you feel? That is, you got to go by that. And I haven't seen anything strange in the sky with my eyes.
I have, and this is where I'm going to segue. So Heidi goes, we could definitely talk about concerts, LOL. If Howie's still here, I don't know if you remember, because I remember Howie was very active in this conversation. It was a couple of years ago. What did we spend one night when we were hanging out in the Angel Rock, I think, for about 35, 40 minutes talking about Canadian music and concerts and Rush. But
what I was going to say, my favorite band is Rush, and I was in a Rush tribute band for many years.
I forgot you were. Yeah. I forgot.
I was a bass player, singer, and keyboardist.
Ooh, so you were Geddy Lee.
I was a triple threat. I was the Geddy Lee. Yes,
you were Geddy Lee. Much better looking than Geddy Lee, I will add. I'm sorry, Geddy Lee, but
we both had nice hair though. Well, my nose from the side, I almost got that Geddy Lee.
Not even close, David. And I'm happy for you. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but no, you're a much better looking version of Geddy Lee. I would never equate the two of you, and that's a compliment. I love Geddy Lee. I think he's so talented and has an amazing voice. It's just okay. Michelle Wilfong, I want to read what she says. She says, I have lots of orbs in the apartment. Some of them made a strange beeping sound. Well, then let's segue into this. So you guys have heard me talk about Beverly Rhodes and how amazing she is, because she is. She has a she's going to be on tomorrow night on the Sean Atwood channel, because she's got her show there. He's almost got 1 million followers. And she's had some pretty profound, intriguing people on her show. So yes, it was yesterday, right, Dave, when I talked to you about the show I had just seen? Yes. And she had Awakening with Beverly Rhodes. I will try and post it in the group for you guys. She had on Danny Henderson, who does all kinds of stuff with ET and extraterrestrials. She's a psychic medium too, I believe. And they had on as a guest yesterday, besides Danny, Elena Denan. Now, some of you may have heard of her. She has been a contactee since she was a child. And the things she was talking about were mind-blowing. Like, she's been off-world, she says. Well, all of a sudden, they were expecting 2 men on there, and the guys were not being able to get on. It was StreamYard. And all of a sudden, this guy comes on with this helmet. Like, he looks like he's like Boba Fett almost from Star Wars. And he starts talking. His name is JP. And he apparently works high up with the U.S. military in the government. So he's maintaining his identity. And then last year in May in 2024, I believe it was Elena who said they had a little conference with, well, not little, they had over 1,000 people. And it was a weekend, and she was told by her contacts, she calls them positive off-worlders that she works with and connects with. She said that they would do a flyover on a certain day at a certain time during the conference. All of them were outside, right on cue at the moment. everything showed up in the skies, and they show the video. In this video, they're doing another one in May 2025. They're hoping it's bigger. I believe it's over in the UK where they're doing it, because Elena sounds like she's from France. And I can't pay attention to that. I'm going to get off track here with Coldplay. I'll get back to that in a minute, because I love that video he just put out for Dick Van Dyke's 99th birthday, Chris Martin from Coldplay. Anyways, so JP starts talking, and people are asking in the chat. And I love the host, Ron. Ron, I doubt you'll see this, Ron Swanson, but if you do, sometimes you just need to stop talking, dude. Like he what is he? He plays with magic. So he considers himself not a warlock, but more practices along the lines of Thor and things like this. But he gets so absolutely beyond super, super hyper, and he can't stop talking. So nobody can ask questions because he's just rambling. And that's what happened yesterday, because his mind was blown. Well, while they're talking, they bring up about the drones. I told David all this, so he's already heard all this. They brought up the drones and all of the orbs people are seeing. Now, Elena said, I really can't tell you too much, except that not all of it, kind of like what Richard Minnick said, not all of it is man-made. Some of it is from off-world. There's nothing to be concerned with at the moment, like what David said, but I can't give you anything else. And she said, I need to connect, and I will be, with her off-world contacts and find out more. So then before she spoke, JP, the guy from the military, said, I'm sorry, I can't say anything on this. I've signed an NDA. This is a matter of military security. Kind of made me think of that saying that, sorry, I can't tell you. If I do, I might have to KIL you. You know, he didn't say that, but that's the way it felt. After Elena finished, JP then speaks up and says, well, actually, I can tell you this. And as he starts to speak, the whole feed, and this was live, goes dead. All 5 people on the screen disappear. It takes about 5 minutes for them to try and get back on. JP barely could get back on. Apparently, Elena had to switch to another modem in her house. And these ladies that talk about this stuff all the time said it happens to them all the time. But the weird part, and I know this with producing this show, we use StreamYard. Say when we freeze up, and you guys have seen it once in a while, it'll freeze up. I was thinking you use StreamYard, but you don't. But anyways, it's just along the same lines. But you're still there as a host, okay? You're still there, even though you can't see them. They were not completely out of the room, completely off air. They come back on, and JP says, well, did you guys even get a chance to hear what I said? And it took him 10 minutes to get back on. He couldn't even get on. And we all are going in the chat, no, what were you going to say? And then, bless his heart, Ron, he started talking about something else, and we never found out what he was going to say. So it doesn't sound, I don't mean it in a way like, oh my God, he was going to tell us something that was a threat or whatever. No, from what I got from the feeling of it, it's nothing to be concerned with at this moment, like what you said, Dave, but it's certainly intriguing. Now, they said, if you want to tell the difference between man-made, and you can take this with a grain of salt, whether you resonate it or not, I'm with it or not. I'm just sharing what I found quite intriguing. They said, if it's man-made, you will hear it. If it's off-world, you will hear nothing. You may see a bit of you may see a vapor trail or whatever man-made. With the off-world, you might see almost like a blurry signature in a way, they said, or you may hear, if you're very close, a hum, but they said do not get close to it because I guess there's a lot of radiation involved with those vehicles. So they said that's how to tell the difference. So I'm not sure if you resonate with that or not, guys, but I knew I wasn't going to call out what you use. I know what you use, Howie. That's why I stopped myself. But thank you. He says we use Restream. Okay, where are we going?
I'm under the strong impression that whether anybody believes me or not, it's just my impression, and I'm not going to say my absolute truth, but it's my impression that nuclear was given to us. That was a gift given to us, how to use it. Because what you were saying about UFOs and spaceships, I'm sure they use a type of nuclear something. And yet, like you said, I wouldn't get near to it. But then again, a lot of people say that their ships, and I think we talked about this before, are organic. They're literally alive. They have a consciousness to it, and they connect.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they talked about all that stuff,
Yeah.
but I think most of us know that they don't have like a steering wheel. It's like a living entity. And actually, this Elena actually said it their vehicles are basically. She said these beings have evolved so much that they're able to merge their consciousness with the technology, and it's actually a living organism that they're. So I don't know how radiation plays into it, but.
So maybe all those haunted dolls out there aren't haunted at all, but they're being run by aliens.
Who knows? I don't know. Oh, okay. Now I'm really intrigued. Okay, so never mind about Rush and Coldplay, and we'll get to that. But Heidi said she was wondering what was up with that. So Howie just said, "How is our local dragon, Kassoon?" And then Howie also added electromagnetic Dave or Drive. He said, "Sorry, I thought it said Dave. He said Drive." And then Kassoon just said this, "Howie, he's doing okay, I guess. How's your steampunk hat doing?" Well, we know Howie has an incredible steampunk hat. I almost have a twin one over here. But are we talking real dragons? Because I actually downloaded. I think I did. I'm positive I did. Somebody, now again, we have to remember in this day of deep fakes and what have you. Somebody, it was posted on one of the reels on Facebook. They found what they thought was an egg in their forest. They had, I don't even know if this was alive, but they put it in a big aquarium. It looked like a baby dragon had hatched out of it. No scales, nothing but the wings, the body shape, the tail. These were all strange things that were caught on camera, like in everyday living, like especially underground. You should see some of the things they found. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. So I don't know. You can take it for what it is. But I thought it was pretty weird.
I can't stand creepy dolls, Kimmy Brett Sweever. I don't have I'm not on that bandwagon with the whole doll thing, but I have saw some videos of some dolls doing some crazy things. So, who knows?
Well, I used to do a show with my previous co-host, Seraphine Hurley, and it was Tuesday nights, and Seraphine would be in her office. Seraphine had lots of creepy stuff. She was sort of more from the darker side, not bad darker side, but darker type knowledge, and I would come from a light worker side, and we knew each other from my previous network. We did a lot of work together. Anyway, she was a collector of haunted items. Like I can tell you, she showed it to me when she got it. And she said that she got a cross that was used in an exorcism. Howie, you might remember this. Yeah, Howie's going, yeah, Seraphine, she's kind of gothic, and she's vamp. Yeah, she identifies as a vampire. Sounds crazy. There's actually an interview from our old network of me interviewing her, asking her exactly what entails with that. I'd never asked her. We had something called a spookathon on our old network, and her guest canceled on her, and she was freaking out. And I go, "Hello, you have a built-in guest. Hello." So I said, "What do you want to talk about?" And she said, "Nobody's ever asked me about the vampire stuff." And I said, "I never asked you because you never told me. And if you wanted to tell me, I knew you'd tell me." So I asked her about it. So it was quite interesting. Anyways, she showed me this cross. It cracked during an exorcism. Take it for what you will. I can tell you she had all kinds of things. I remember she had it in a safe space, and she showed me, because we would talk on video all the time. She showed me it was in a completely different space than where she had left it when she went to bed. That was crazy. She had she experienced some of the activity at my house, not physically, but she would get things happening at her house while we were talking, the two of us, over Skype or Messenger. But she had haunted dolls behind her. Okay. And there was one doll that while we were live, you would see it kind of smile. A couple times I'm positive it moved. Anyways, I didn't realize till one night I was talking to her after a show, the doll had a painted face. Like I was sure the doll had winked a couple times. Like it was crazy, some of the stuff that went on when we did shows. So there you go. Creepy dolls. Kassoon says, I've seen dolls doing crazy things too, Dave. That's what he says.
I always looked at like, it's like dolls or like when I see AI Because in AI, I mean, some people get really good at it after a while, is picking out uncanny valley. It's called uncanny valley.
Mhm.
It's when you see something and it might look human or humanoid, but it's slightly off to the point where
Dave, I wasn't the only one that noticed. Other people, what happened, you guys, and I'm not making up excuses. My old network, we never got any copies of our old shows, which I am so bummed about because there were some cool shows I wish I still had a copy of. I've been on the network 6 years in July. The first, I want to say, year and a half or two on the show, we lost our main YouTube channel. I don't have any video. There's audio of all my shows, but not video. So Seraphine's show and I would still be on there. That's why I back up all my shows on my YouTube. I also back them up on Rumble and I believe Odyssey as well. Because all of us, it wasn't just me, all of us lost all our video to our first shows, like during that period. So some people much more than me, because like Joe, I think lost everything that he had on the channel. So I love this. Kimmy says, I was such a tomboy, never played with dolls in the first place, but they've always creeped me out. I was a major tomboy too.
Yeah, that's because of that. The reason that dolls probably creep you out isn't, I mean, who knows what happens with dolls, but it's the uncanny valley thing where it causes dissonance when you see something that's not quite human, but it's supposed to resemble human. Because dolls do that because they're not all anatomically correct, I guess. Is that the word I'm looking for? Especially like baby.
I have seen far too many live creepy doll things, not right in front of me, but watching a live stream. I'm sorry, but again, you have to believe in that kind of stuff, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm telling you, I have seen it, and it's creepy grossness. Ew, when it happens. I wanted to go back to Heidi's comment. She said, might sound crazy, but I'm going to ask anyway. I've noticed and wondered about the audio sounds when some kind of funky energy is interfering. Sounds like space noise or alien noise. Oh, you're freaking me out. Tell me that, Heidi. I don't know if you want to answer. You want me to, Dave, and then you go, or you want to go first? Or
Heidi said, might sound crazy, but I'm going to answer. I've noticed and wondered about the audio sounds when some kind of funky energy is.
I know what that is.
I'm not quite sure what you're speaking of.
I think, okay, please correct me if I'm wrong, but when you maybe pick up feeling some kind of funky, weird energy sometimes, or maybe even on a video, the reason why you're freaking me out, Heidi, some of you may not know her, but Katrina Cooper, I know Howie knows her. She's a really good medium. And I had a reading years ago in my old house, actually the 22nd of December. I think it was 8 or 9 years ago. And Katrina did a reading for me. And she reported exactly what you just said she was hearing. Space noises, alien noises. It was in the most active part of my house. Then she told me the craziest thing. She said she'd never heard noises like this before. That's how she described them. And then she said that over 10,000 years ago, some kind of weird crystalline rock or something was buried very deep beneath my house. And she almost said something I had seen. I used to watch the Dead Files a week earlier. She said First Nations people knew where to live and where to put their garbage, basically. And where you live, nobody was supposed to live there. And I got off the phone with her, or off the call. It was a video call. I still have a copy of it. And I've had her on the Angel Rock since and talked to her about this. I thought she had lost her mind. I went, oh my God, is that woman lost her mind? And it took me about 5 minutes. And I went, no, I know how accurate Katrina is. She's one of those mediums. No, we don't do this, but it's a euphemism I use, is the fact that if she gave me the lottery numbers for, say, a lottery tonight or tomorrow, I'd run out and buy a ticket. So go figure. And that's exactly what she described, just what you said, Heidi. So weird.
I still don't understand what you mean by it, but I'll think
see. She said, sorry, she's clarifying here. Hang on, I'm trying to highlight.
I am not. Okay.
Oh, she said, meaning in general, or if anyone had any kind of experience hearing that. Sorry, you just heard my experience. Oh, Faye's here with Roger. I said hi to Faye. Roger has has a wild story about having a reading with dolls. It's pretty wild. I can't wait to hear that one. Hi, Roger. I missed you. Please let me know if I missed you guys. Just pop in down below. Oh, of course, Kasoon. I was thinking about you the other night. I was hearing some weird noise, and I thought, yeah, if I was live on my show, that would be Kasoon saying, might be Lorilei's pet Bigfoot. That's his big thing when we hear weird noises on the show. Kasoon is convinced I have a pet Bigfoot in my closet. And then Faye says that reading is also validated by the person who was at the session with her husband, Roger, because Roger's a medium too. So go figure. And then Kimmy says, and the way they make it look like their eyes follow you. Oh, isn't that creepy? Or paintings like that? Have you ever seen that, Dave?
Yeah, the paintings.
Oh,
I like that.
It's so weird. So Howie, yes, not all EVPs are spiritual. Some may be dimensional. Listen over your EVPs to see if you get a snap or break sound like before the EVP. I feel that is extra dimensional. That makes a lot of sense to me.
I agree. I agree that EVPs don't always have to be on a spiritual, on a non-physical level, not spiritual level, because things can be physical and spiritual, but on a I agree with you, Howie.
And then Roger's asking this, anyone getting a pulsating sound in their ears? Dave and I could do a whole show on that. It has been happening for me over the past month. I have a friend that's been on the Angel Rock a couple times. Debbie Anderson's getting it. I don't know if you want to comment or not, Dave, but I know lots of people that are picking up this sound.
I haven't had a pulsating sound. It's not pulsating, but no.
Not so much. Well, some people are getting pulsating. Mine's like when you get a download, but super, super, super loud and prolonged. Yeah. And normally when
I get tones, but I don't get pulsating.
But I know people that have been getting a pulsating sound. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and Howie says, Katrina is strong, love her to death. I love her to death too. She's amazing. And then Heidi just said the audio through video, Lorilei, yes, natives. And then she said, I love the dead files. It didn't come through the video, Heidi, but when I have a recording of the reading with Katrina with her permission. And she was on, I think, because she was putting out about pet mediumship. I think it was at the beginning of last year I had her on. Again, she's been on quite a few times. And I remember her talking about it in the reading because it was so crazy what I was hearing. And then when she practically said something I had literally heard on a TV show a week before, and I doubt she watched the same show. And I could tell she was really puzzling over the noise she was getting. And she was describing it almost the way you described in your question, that she kept picking up and she was hearing probably within the mind's eye or, the way we pick up things intuitively or psychically. So I just think that's crazy. That's why I said it's freaking me out. Okay. So Howie says, no, Roger, just a lot of buzzing here as of late. You said it could be your blood pressure. It could be, Howie, but that, like I said, I know lots of people that are intuitive, myself included, because normally if I get a download, it's usually my right ear for me. And if it's too loud, I can say within the mind's eye, I'll call it, I'll ask for spirit to turn it down, please. And it's not turning down. And it is loud and prolonged. Mm-hmm. So Heidi said, I've never heard it before moving here. So wild, Lorilei. She said she got the goosebumps. I know it was crazy. Okay, where are we here? Let's keep going. Heidi, your right ear's been ringing? Oh, Julie said the same thing for her too. She said, yes, me too. My ears have been doing weird things too. Not sure if it's pulsating or not. It's just weird. And Nicole says, I'm having cold chills down my right side lately. Never happened before. It is happening several times a day sometimes. What do you think about that, Dave?
Well, it depends.
I know. I'll share with you then. Just quickly though, Nicole. For me,
it's happening too much during the day.
But I get it when spirit's near. I get it when spirit's near. Like if I get, or it's my sign for truth, I'll say, meaning I know if I'm picking up something or feeling or hearing or sensing something and I get goosebumps, I know that's a confirmation sign for me. So are you
Yeah.
have you got anything to add?
Whenever I hear stuff, it's throughout the past and throughout the years, when I hear the ringing in my ears, basically I've just learned to just stop for a minute and just pay attention to everything around me. That's what it is. That's what I do. Except I had a really loud one on Sunday. I'd called Lorilei about it, but
I wasn't going to say anything. That's why I asked you if you wanted to comment. That's all.
Yeah, because it's I don't. No, I'm good on it. I'm good on it.
Okay. No, but you've been having some.
Yeah, but I do that. Yeah, I do. I'd stop pulsating, but yeah, I've ever since my NDE, I've gotten. Do you want to know what? Before my NDE, I can't ever tell you I can remember a time where I had ringing in my ears ever.
Oh, really?
Never thought about it. Yeah, never thought about it. And if it was there, it wasn't. It just passed me up. It just didn't do anything. But the ringing I have in my ear now, when I get them, it's not. It's literally, I can't even call it ringing in the ear. I know that's what we call it, but it's not a ringing in the ear.
No, it's not. Yeah.
It's not like when did you ever blow your nose too hard and then you hear that really high pitch? It's not like that. Me and Lori talked about, it's like a tone. It's there.
There's not words to describe it.
Describe it. It's hard. Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah.
The more you tune into your body, though, like, and this is the beauty with spirit. Like, you literally could, if you really wanted to, sit down with spirit and say, ask for better communication with them, for example, or clarification. I have seen people, I've taken courses where I've had mentors teach me, you could sit down and literally make a dictionary if you wanted. Like every time I see, I don't know, a dill pickle, it means this for me. Every time I see a red rose, it means this for me. These are people that are just starting out tuning into your gifts, right? And because our guides and spirit, I believe, are there. They're going to work with us in the best way they can so that we can understand and interpret the messages. So you could do that. And it's the same with your body. For example, every time, and I've talked about this before, and I have an album of them, and I will find little hearts in the weirdest things. It could be a spill of coffee. One time we got a box of nuggets from a pizza place. There's a perfect heart in there. It all started when my dog that's no longer with us, Miley, well, you know the name Miley, Dave, when she was a puppy, she left me a potty stain on the rug that was perfect heart. I know there have been people that have seen it and said there's no way a puppy did that. And she did. And I don't know why, but I started seeing more and more hearts. So I started to associate it with it, that every time I see a heart that comes out of weird random places, like I have found a little scrap of paper on the floor, all kinds of things. I take pictures of them now and I save them, but I take it as confirmation from my guides that I'm on the right track. Just as a little reminder, remember to think you can love, be love if you can, and also that I'm on the right track.
Yeah. Synchronicities, hearts, all that stuff.
For people
we thank you so much. We'll get rid of your comment now.
Oh, you want me to? Sorry, I didn't see that. Where are we here? Sorry.
That's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's a scam bot.
Yeah, what we're going to
guys don't go to that. Don't go to that Gmail. Yeah,
can't because it's Twitch. Of course, it's Twitch.
Yeah.
I want to say hi on Instagram. Sorry, that's why I didn't see it. LV Darling is over there. So hello. So just ignore Twitch, guys, because I have no control over Twitch, unfortunately. Now,
Michelle,
that's you and I are synchronous here. Go ahead.
Michelle Plummer says, I like to compare the ringing and its resonance are like singing bowls. When you feel the bowls, you feel it in your body. That is absolutely correct, Michelle Plummer. That's probably the best way I can put it. When I get a ringing in my ear, it's not just a ringing in my ear. I feel the entire thing in the entire body.
Okay, so Heidi says, I agree 100%. Heidi says, I see hearts everywhere too. Now, the reason why I mentioned it, if you're trying to tune into your gifts, you can make that, like Spirit didn't tell me every time you see a random, I'm not saying like a heart on TV or something. These are weird things you would never see a heart with. I made that, the next time I have a meditation, after I kept seeing them, I sat down and agreed, said, hey, how about every time I see something so random like this is what it can mean. And they concurred. So that's why how I made that connection. I'm going to go to Kasoon here. The one thing I'm going to say, you said they say right side is your spirit guides or something. What I'm going to tell you, and if it resonates, great. And if it doesn't, that's okay. That is a guideline. Okay. So when you make the connection for you, because everybody is different, like how Dave and I started the conversation tonight about animal communication, it's a guideline. But if you're always hearing something on the left side, you know, and you're making the connections, go with it and see how it works for you.
In my mediumship, for the longest time, when a male spirit came in, I would always feel them on the left. And when a female spirit came in, I'd feel them on the right. That's what I thought. But that soon changed. Now it doesn't really matter.
But sometimes things will too, right?
Yeah,
but it's when you're trying to, like, I've always had my gifts. I've always used them. And I remember going back to it being as a child much more now. It makes a lot more sense what I was experiencing, feeling, and going through. But I never really connected 2 and 2 together until I went through the paranormal experience that I did in my home. So for me, and that's why I'm just sharing with you how I started to put 2 and 2 together and connect, as well as working with different mentors and teachers and learning from people. I've learned from Dave. I've learned from Julie. I've learned from Roger. We learn from one another, right? So the thing is, it's a guideline, remember, because I can variably tell you when I start teaching my course in March, there's going to be people that will experience nothing. And we've all seen it if we've taught a course, especially when it comes to these gifts, and people will say, well, maybe I'm not meant to be here. I don't have anything. I can't do it. No, maybe you just don't connect that way, and you have to be open. There's many different reasons why.
Yeah, so and it's all, you know what, you got to remember, all spiritual things are pretty much subjective, which means it's happening within you. So you're going to see it in all different ways. I know there's a couple of mediums that I don't like them, but they teach these courses and they tell people this is the only way you can do it. So if you're not getting it this way, then you're not getting it. And that is probably the most destructive, dumb thing you could say to anybody, because everybody does get stuff differently. It's just how it is. Like Howie had mentioned, when a spirit comes close, it feels like his ears pop. For me, when there's a spirit in the room, it feels to me just like if somebody walked in the room and they didn't have a body. You know what I mean? If somebody walked in my room now, I could feel them there. That's what it feels like for me. That's how I know the spirit's there. I'm like, oh, there's someone in the room with me. And Lorilei, you kind of do that too, don't you, Lorilei? Sometimes you just kind of just know. It's just like, oh, yeah. There's someone.
When we went to film our episode, okay, this is what's so weird. Okay, so when we went to film our episode years ago for the Travel Channel, and we went to this beautiful house, and my partner, Del, he could connect with spirit, but he's so skeptical about everything. Yeah, but he is intuitive. So we were there, and I walked into the kitchen, and I went, holy shit, that there, I said, there's a ghost here. And my partner Del goes, how? I go, come over here. Comes over. I said, put your hand here. He goes, oh my God. It was ice cold. Now, we didn't know who this was. I didn't get a bad feeling. I got a good feeling about it. And the owner of the home, he was lovely. It was a Airbnb they had rented down. I think it was in Hamilton where they filmed it. And we told him what we had experienced, because he obviously was open to ghosts and stuff, because he knew that that's the house they used to film in. And we told him, and he said, oh my goodness, I think it's my father who's passed away. And I guess things hadn't ended on a really good note before he passed away. I think I ended up giving him some really, they were really healing for him to hear that, you know, your dad doesn't hold any ill will towards you and what have you. Anyways, apparently his dad liked to have a shot of whiskey every night, and we had picked up a bottle of something. I forget what it was. So we actually left him out a drink on the counter for him, because why not, right? He didn't bother us. That's why we always tell you, not everything that's in spirit or is a earthbound spirit or ghost is negative, right? And that was a really positive experience, for example. Yeah, and I knew, like, I just knew instantly that there was going to be, yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I just wanted a quick look at this before I check this. Yeah, you put it, oh no. I don't know what Cody and Satori are.
I do. Who's talking
Battery.
about that? Where is it?
Kasoon did, a little further down.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead,
know.
I'll be right back. I gotta check a quick message.
Okay, but you were. I'm also going to read your message a little higher because you said, because Kimmy has to go. Put the kitties to bed. Okay, honey, love you too. Happy holidays. We don't see you before, but don't worry there. You can watch the rest of it if you want. There's always a replay. Because then you said something interesting. You said, I used to do a certain Wiccan ritual, and every time I did it, white feathers would start to appear from nowhere. I love that. I love when that happens, and that can happen. Okay, Dave, I don't know if you're muted or not, hon. Just so you know. Okay, so Kasoon, you said, I was into a certain medium so much. Then she started saying Cody and Satori are real. That was that for me. Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I've actually talked to Cody and Satori. So anybody who doesn't know who Cody and Satori are, if you ever watch one of the first paranormal shows out there with Jason Hawes, and I think it was Grant was his partner. God, I can't remember. Taps. It was called Taps. Satori is Jason's daughter and Cody is her fiance, and they have been under a lot of scrutiny because they worked at the now defunct, I just had it, my brain went completely blank and I know what it is. God, it was Jason, daughter is Satori. God, why can I just went blank. Give me a sec. And I know exactly what the name of the show was, or the house was called. Give me one sec. Dave, I don't know if you're having a personal call.
No, it's all good.
Oh, good. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we're all good.
We're into Cody and Satori. Give me
who is Cody and Satori? I'm
telling you right now. Give me one sec. Jason Hawes, I gotta look up. Give me one sec. And I will tell you. Conjuring House. Okay. Oh. Thank you. Everybody's filling it in for me as I looked it up. No, Conjuring House. They worked at the now defunct Conjuring House. And they had a very unique way of communicating. I have seen them do it live too. Now, what they do is they hold hands, and they've done it in other places besides the Conjuring House, but they will get spirit to knock, and they go through the alphabet. When they get to the right letter and they spell out the word. A lot of people say they're fakes. A lot of people say that Cody's cracking his ankle, or to me, I've watched it live. I've talked to them on the show they were on. I've called in and asked them about it. So everybody's entitled to their opinion. And because I asked them, I said, have you ever thought about teaching people your method? And they said, no, we haven't. But they said they wanted to do more scientific things. Like they wanted to see if they did it, say Satori took another person of their team's hand and did it with them or someone else. And you got to give them credit for that. At least they're going to experiment. But they're also in love. They're going to get married like that. And I said to them, maybe it's the love, the bond that you share lovingly, that this works for you. So I don't know. I don't know if they're real or not, but that's who Cody and Satori are. And they've been
never heard of them. I've heard of the Conjuring House.
They're lovely. They're a lovely couple. Satori is just a little doll. Absolutely wonderful. They were really strange a few times on the YouTube channel there. So I don't know. I guess you're entitled to your opinion if you feel that way. So that's okay, Kasoon, if you don't believe in them. And you're right, it is the Conjuring House. That's exactly how I looked at it. Exactly. I was just thinking that. How do you put it into words? A human spirit board. They don't call it that, but that's exactly what it is. Kasoon, I'm not going to argue with you, honey. You are more than welcome to your opinion. And you know what? You maybe haven't been here, but I have shared this story many times when I had people calling me a fake and a fraud, and what I went through in my own house. That I was making this up for attention. And then all of a sudden, because our story showed up on a TV show, all of a sudden people started believing us. Mm-hmm. So if you don't believe them, you're entitled to not believe it. And that's okay. That's why Dave and I don't agree with everything that
we don't agree with everything each other does. Yeah, it's all good. It's all it goes because like the Conjuring house, I have zero belief in it.
My belief is that the truth will always come out in the end.
Yeah, it eventually is going to be out there, and then it's just weird to how once you really start looking into the mechanics of ghosts and spirits and all that, it's just going to change our opinions on this and that here and there. But yeah, it's whatever.
There are no hard and fast rules when it comes to the other side. I have always
for me, because of my experience, there are rules. There are hard and fast rules.
You stopped me before I finished. What I was going to say is when we look at what we think everyday normal life is,
yes,
right?
exactly.
We know it pretty well. We get surprised sometimes, but I have said ever since I have opened the door to the paranormal, that means anything that's not within the regular norm, I have never realized how infinitely enormous it is compared to what we think regular everyday life at Earth School is, honestly. And I see things every day that, could it be fake? Maybe. Like, don't get me wrong. If I'm going to see strings on a video, or I'm going to see something, or and I know usually what sounds like if someone's going to crack their ankle to make a sound. Now, again, I haven't heard every ankle that cracks. It could be somebody can make it sound like a knock, right? Maybe. But my point is that truth always comes out, and I believe that it does. So, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's different. And so
I don't have an opinion on them at all, just because of the fact I have no clue who they are. So
I'm really reticent to call people a fake, because until I've told the story, how many times I've told it, I know what I went through, and I knew I wasn't faking it. I was just looking for help way back then. And that's why I was putting my story out there. I wasn't looking to get famous. I wasn't looking for anything at all. I just didn't want to be burnt, bit, scratched, pinched, my partner thrown 15 feet and everything else across the kitchen. Right. And so I don't call people fakes, but everybody's able to. You're right. Kelly says her ankles crack all the time. Yes, there are people that are fakes out there, but again, eventually they slip up and you end up catching them. Right?
Yeah,
or if they're using strings, excuse me. I mean, if I see something that's obvious, and we've seen obvious stuff on here.
You got to remember, in spirituality, the hard thing, and this is what makes it, once you're really involved in it, this is how you know when spirituality is real. When you come across all the fakes, but then you come across that one thing that says, uh-oh.
I'm going to show you guys a video that's a fake, for example. Now, would I have called this fake in the beginning? Yes, I would, but I'm going to show you. Give me 1 sec. How do I pause this? Stop. Okay. Take that microphone off. Give me 1 sec. This is fake. This is coming out for a Netflix series, for example. There's just some things that when you see it, kind of thing. Let's share it. Okay. Oh, there's all my messages to me. Okay. Let's unblock the video. Can you guys see that? Can you see it okay, Dave?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Sexy Werewolf. That's right. Did you see Sexy Werewolf on TikTok?
I wanted to take a quick little break at this video. Nor is it AI. It's a real man in a costume on robotic legs.
I knew this guy was
I have to shout out to Netflix because this is part of their new movie that they're filming and developing called Loop Guru. This thing looks so real. And again, it's not AI or CGI. It's amazing how our technology has developed so far that a werewolf in a movie looks like a real werewolf. Side note, Netflix, I'm open to any type of paranormal documentary. I think it's time to open up that genre on Netflix. But take a look at this and tell me what you think.
I think it looks fake.
Yeah.
That looks fake as that to me.
Yeah, the costume looks decent, but that is not even.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like, some things are so freaking obvious that for God's sake, that there's no way that could be real. Like I can't even believe they're going to put that in a movie. And then they got the guy trying to balance basically on stilts.
Yeah, right.
Like that's not even his real legs. They got him on, like she was talking on these electronic. Yeah. Yeah. So Roger too. Yeah. Roger says he's been called a fake and no one can predict what's going to happen in the future.
Although when people ask me about predictions of futures, I can say this honestly. I don't believe that we can accurately 100% predict the future. But
you know what I say, Dave?
We can come close.
Well, you know what I say usually. I say to people, and there was one time I was doing readings with Dave on TikTok, and I said, and I don't predict the future. And then how many times did I started saying something for the future, but I usually say to people as it is in this moment, the way it's shown, because there's different timelines that we could follow based on our decisions and what we do, right? So there are no hard and fast rules. I like what people are saying. And Kasoon too says, hey, sexy, or Q, sexy werewolf. Faye is laughing, going a werewolf on stilts. Exactly, Kasoon. The future is
not fixed. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. That's why, and I like what Heidi said here too, and I'm sorry that's happened to you, Roger. And Heidi says, definitely a closed-minded person, Roger, that probably doesn't like themselves, or they, you know what? It doesn't hurt any less when people say mean things. It really doesn't. But just remember, you know who you are.
Exactly. Okay? You know what I find adorable though now?
What?
Did you, just to bring this up, and I know we're going to run out of time soon, but like in, I think it was Antarctica or something, everybody's going, oh, science has just discovered that there's timelines and we can jump timelines. And people like me who had NDEs, or like Lorilei, it's like, really? You're just now figuring this crap out? Really? Is it really that much?
Well, we have to be happy that they're finding out now, right? Yeah. We have to be happy now that they're finding out. But that's the thing, right? So that's why, like I say, and then again, I don't take credit for this, but Spirit has said this to me: what we perceive becomes what we believe, and it becomes our reality. We forget how powerful we are.
Yeah, your entire life is based off what's in your head. It's not based off any real facts. It's based off what is in your head. We create everything.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Had someone told me 15 years ago that if I focused on something hard enough or enough, that I could actually manifest it and make it happen, including things that might appear to be paranormal, telekinesis. And I was really defensive back then, especially after I got called a fake, and I was doing this. Remember the intergalactic satellite goldfish? I think I talked about this with Carrie Lynn on Monday night, and that's what he diagnosed me with. And yes, it scarred me. It did. So I tend to really believe, you know what? If you're telling the truth and you got nothing but the truth to tell, you have nothing to remember. To me, people that their story changes and it changes, and you're telling lies, nobody remembers every lie they've told. And that's where you start to get a little suspect, unless you get to feel like the werewolf on stilts.
There is a weird thing though, because I have seen, I'm not cutting anybody down, but I have saw people who say how good they are, and literally everything they say is incorrect. It is incorrect, which tells me that they just don't have a connection is what's happening. They're just not really connected, or
but think. Then I hold the belief.
Then we find some people who it's like everything they say is like literally happening as we're saying it.
No, but what I believe too, right, is everybody finds the person they're meant to work with. Because I have sometimes, not recently, but in the past, sometimes I get some people contacting me and I'm going, okay, like you kind of feel like, I don't know how this is going to work out, right? And in the end, it always works out. And Spirit always reminds me that the people that we find each other. So maybe the people come with what that person is saying.
Yeah. Kasoon said something really interesting at the bottom, and it's really good. And I can explain to you from my experience why that is. So Kasoon says, manifesting bad is easy, manifesting good is harder. That's correct. And you know why? Because as human beings being brought up, we are always taught that the bad things are always possible. Always possible. So we have a belief in it. But anytime something good comes, what do we say to somebody? Oh, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. So
because we do. Like, what do people say, right? Well, what else? There's nothing else that could happen, basically. What's the worst that could happen? Or, right? And then you hear the old saying, some people look at it with the glass proverbial half full. Some people look at it half empty. It's the way people think, right?
And I always tell people, if you're into manifesting, the one belief system you have to drop that you have learned since you were a child is seeing is believing. That is not true. Seeing is not. If you have to see something to believe it, it's going to take you forever to see it. If you believe, then you're going to see it. In order to see something, you have to believe it. It's like a law of attraction. Nothing is coming to you. There is nothing in this world that is coming to you. Everything's already here.
I just watched the Santa Claus last night and a couple of the movies, and that's exactly what they kept saying. Seeing is not believing. Believing is seeing.
And that's true. Once you believe it, then you can see it.
Do you know what else I tell people too? Is, are you able to breathe? Yes. Can you see the oxygen you're breathing? No. Well, how do you know you can breathe? Because because your body trusts, and and whether you think about it or not, that the oxygen is there. Can you see the wind? Nothing's blowing around. You might be able to feel it, but you can't see it. There's lots of things we can't see, but we trust gravity. Can we see gravity? No, but it holds us on the earth, right?
When I had QHHT done, the thing that came through when the question was asked, how does David get his information? And what came through was he hears the whispers in the wind, which is what you were just saying about the wind. You can't really see the wind, but you can feel it when it's there. You know it's there. It's proof. So you can't always see what's really there. That's why Lorilei and I always tell people, you got to look past what's in front of your physical.
I'm still working on manifesting, and I can manifest a lot of things, but so I know, for example, that it's time to do some inner healing work with the parts that, because Roger, you said, okay, I'm manifesting me being a multimillionaire. That may not be part of your contract here. That's a whole different show, but there's no limits. If that's really what you desire. And same as Michelle says, manifesting is possible, and it happens. And when it does and it unfolds, it blows your mind, and it does.
I moved into a house without a job. I got a house without having a job.
Yes. And I kept telling you, you're going to be fine. I know you're going to be fine. Yeah, I got a comment. She says, so happy that we tuned in tonight. It has been a while. You guys are exactly what we needed. We are so glad.
Thank you. We're very honored then.
Connie says, I was brought up Catholic, and we were taught just because you can't see God doesn't mean he isn't there. It's based on faith and what we are taught. Well, manifesting, yes, I agree with religion, but with manifesting, it's like you already have it, right? Yeah. You have it.
It's the law of assumption. It's living in the wish fulfilled. So when you're going to say, like Roger, when you said, okay, I am manifesting being a multimillionaire, by saying that, you're already doing it wrong. It is, I am a multimillionaire. And you have to, once you believe that you're actually a multimillionaire, which is difficult, but once you believe it, that's where it all starts to show up.
You start with a smaller increment that is believable to you.
Yeah, or something that can get you into that. Now, Contessa, I was brought up Catholic, and we were taught just because you can't see God.
I just read that,
It's based on faith and what we are taught. Do you want to know what's really funny about that? Now, if you really break that down, I was brought up, okay, so we're taught because you can't see God, that doesn't mean he isn't there. Unfortunately, for like near-death experiences and all that, we see God every day, and we always have. Everything is God. Like people, go look at yourself in the mirror. That's God. So we actually see God every day, and that's why people like me go, well, there is a God, because I can see it every day. I don't think people were taught to see it.
Oh, unfortunately, my friend, this goes as fast as 2 hours of my week.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go into this.
Before you start, you guys stay tuned because the second night at the Outer Realm with the amazing Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano is coming up right after this. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. Oh no, that's we're gonna get to that point. But I'm going to say, exactly, Roger. Is that not correct? Roger says you're right, David. I thank God that He blessed me to be one. Exactly. It's wonderful to be that person who already knows. I don't have to have faith in that. I already know.
Michelle told us that she loves us over on TikTok. So I told her we love all of you too. Kassoon wants hair. Maybe Santa will bring it. You never know, Kassoon, like yours, Dave.
I wish I could grow hair like Dave, but Asian hair does not grow straight like that. But it does grow a lot, and that's what straightening irons are for. So you got this, Kassoon. You guys, if you'd like to know more about me or follow me on social media, to learn more about me or to schedule a reading, the only place you can do it is on my website, theywhispertome.com, or through my link trees that are in my social things. On TikTok and Instagram, I am at Medium David Hanzel. On YouTube and Facebook, I am The Spirit Experience. And also remember to join our group, Lorilei. We're going to go live in there.
We're going to go live. You guys, after Christmas present.
We talked, we kind of hinted at each other, but maybe next week before the 1st.
We did work. I'm after the 25th, the gifts are ripped open. It's quiet at my house. So
we'll go. Yeah. And then anyway, so join our group, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed with Lorilei Potvin and David Hanzel. Make sure to follow us both. Know before Lorilei tells you where to get hold of her. Lorilei and I will never, ever, ever direct message you to tell you that we have something to tell you. There's a reading. We don't do that. You can only go to where we tell you can go. Go ahead, Lorilei.
Sound like we're really bossy. Like I said,
we're really bossy. You go. Go to my website, theywhispertome.com.
We love you too, Kassoon. He said, always love this show. We love you too. We love all of you, and thank you. We're glad you enjoy it. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Anything you guys celebrate, happy holidays out there. We love you. Stay tuned for Michelle and Amelia next. Also, if you ever want to get a hold of me, get a hold of me on Facebook.com/The Angel Rock right now, or any social media platform under The Angel Rock or Lorilei Potvin. In the new year, like I said, we'll be starting the new course, and I'm hoping to be under a domain name. I'm looking for around March, hopefully, to start that. Also, I have 2 groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, Angel Rocker Tribe for all things spiritual, and Monday night, The Angel Rock, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on UPRN with myself, and we're having Varla Ventura. It's going to be a fun Christmas show, you guys. We love you all. Happy holidays. Stay spooky.
You guys. And let's try it. But you know what? We don't even have to get it because now we're just going to do some free readings in the group anyway, so you're all good. But 1, 2, 3. What's at the foot of your bed?
We're way out.
Yeah. We're gonna have to say it like, what's at the foot of your bed, sucker? You know.
We'll see you guys on next Thursday for sure. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful, safe, wonderful holiday. And if you don't celebrate or you feel alone, reach out to somebody, okay, or make a phone call, volunteer your time, do something to keep yourself busy. Remember, you mean more to more people than you could ever imagine. All right. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.
Guys.
I got to hit the right buttons.